Hello guys, and welcome back to another Tweaker Man video. So in this video we're going to be replacing some of these SMD capacitors, surface mount device capacitors, for some through hole capacitors. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So we've got 5. These are the Audio Note Kaisei. So we've got 500 microfarad by 16 volts, and we've got 250 microfarad by 16 volts, and there are a few others in here as well. But first of all, I'm going to change these 7 just to see how it goes and see what the sound difference is. And most importantly, when we're doing this, we've got to get the polarity round the right way, so you can see where the black stripe is on either side of these SMD capacitors, and that is the negative side. And so we've got the same going on the standard through hole capacitors. Now you would say, why am I changing these? But these Audio Note Kaisei caps are absolutely wicked. I've been taken with these capacitors for a long time now, and if you watched the previous video, here are all the Nichicon kg capacitors in there that I fitted in previously, that are all looking nice and snug and still working extremely well. So let's get into this video. What we need is a soldering iron. We need a few bits and pieces. We also need a pair of these long nose pliers, and we need some solder, some desoldering braid, and we've got a desoldering pump down there if we need it, and a pair of snippers down there. So let's get this camera in the tripod and crack on. So I've been liaising with a few electronic engineers, and I've watched them do removals of these, and they've told me the best way to remove these. So it's using a pair of these. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hold it on there, and then we're going to twist it off slowly from side to side like that. And then hopefully we should be able to release it. There we go, look at that. It comes off lovely and easy. And now we've got our 2 pads shown there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder on 2 one at a time, purely because I want to I know the polarity of the way it's gone. I photographed it, but on video it's easier to do it like this. So we know our negative for the first one is to the right, if I'm looking at the amp from the side, it's to my left. And what we need to do is we need to take our capacitor like that, and we need to bend the legs on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bend the legs like so. Keep them up like that, and then each one of those is just going to solder onto each pad there, which is very simple and easy. So what we'll do is we'll just snip some of this away here, because we want to snip some of it away. We don't want it too long. Put it down there. I'll show you once I've done it. There we go. We've got 2 legs there exposed now. One's on the negative side, the other one's on the positive. Trim that one back very slightly, a bit more. What I might do is hone out a bit on the camera there. Just that's better. Now what we'll do is we can just keep those fairly flat to start with, these because we want to be able to hold that in place there, and then we're going to solder it. So we need our solder first of all. We've already got the soldering iron heated up here. So I've put this larger spade part on the soldering iron. What we want to do is just want to melt a bit of solder first, so then we can just tack it in place there. Now this can be quite difficult when you're doing it on your own. Okay, it's quite good if you've got someone else doing it with you. But what I'm going to do is just tin the ends of these slightly, just to give it a bit of solder on there. I mean, loads of people do soldering different ways, and you just have to find the way that suits you the best. So there's lots of electronic engineers that don't like tinning it first. They like going straight in. Other ones like to tin it first. So what we need to do first here is to remove the old part of the... There we go, that's come away there. And that's come away there. That's nice and neat now. And we can have a clean up with some flux afterwards. Now, where's my solder now? So now I'm going to do is put a fresh bit of solder on each pad there. That's it. That's a nice round dot there. A nice round dot there. And now I've got to now change hands, which is a bit more difficult for me because I am right-handed. But we're going to now attach one of these in here. Just to get it in place, just to put it in place. I was wobbling a bit there. I'm not great with my left hand. Now we want to push that one down into place as well. And now I can solder that one in with my right hand now. Come from this side. It's awkward doing these on camera, but there we go. And now I want to just push that upright like that, because these are going to stick up a bit. These are. They're not going to be very right low. So what I'm going to do is just turn this around a bit. So here we have our first cap in place. It's gone in extremely well. I'm really pleased with the way that's worked out. So we're going to crack on with the rest now. So now I'm going to do this one here now, which is next to it. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. Just going to twizzle it from side to side a bit. Snap the... There we go. So look, it comes straight off. It's really, really easy to do. It was a lot easier than I was expecting after watching lots of other people do it on videos and talking to a few people that I know. They showed me exactly what to do with it. Okay. So now what we want to do now is just to add another bit of solder to these pads here. Let's just see if we can clean that off first a bit more than that. That's it. Because it has a little bit of metal on there which we want to get off. So we don't want to keep that bit of metal on there. That's it. Get that off. Oh, that's gone lovely, that has. Look at that. Right, okay, so we need to do exactly the same thing, but this time the polarity's running towards me here. So we want to trim these legs down again with the wire snippers. There we go. Take them down to about there. Okay. Move any rubbish that goes inside there. You don't want that in there like that. It's funny, the more you do of this, the better you become at it. I always find at first some of these things can be quite daunting, and then you get a lot better at it as you go along. That's why it's always good to practice. As I keep saying to everybody, practice on an old circuit board. So here we go, that goes in there. Now my hand's going to be in the way a little bit for this, so I'm going to turn the camera and put it around the other side. So we just want to put a bit of just to tin the ends of these capacitors slightly. Whoops, that one's gone under there now. Oh, where's that gone now? There it is. Look. What a bugger. Right. Right, so we need to do the same again because that's come on. I'll just tin it down there slightly. That's it. Get on there. Now we just want to push this into place now. That's it. And this one. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we've got those in place now. So we're going to be moving on to this one now. Again, so we've got the polarity running, the negative running to my left now. Okay, perfect. Look at that. They pop out easy. These do. It's still got the plastic part at the bottom there to take off. It's like everything at first. All these things look difficult to do until you start. The worst thing is to not damage pads. Now I've got some special parts turning up for damaged pads, which I'm hoping to show you when they turn up, because I thought they'd be quite handy to keep. Again, that's a bugger. Get that off. That's it. That's gone. Where's that gone now? That's on there. Thing is, once you damage these surface mounted pads, they can be quite difficult to fix. There's that other little bit there. Pop that off of there, stick it over there. Right, so now, as we were saying, this one's running, the negative's running to my left here. So we need to change those. Now I know that this is working really well. I can change all these small ones here as well now, which I haven't done yet. Which I've got to get the capacitors for those, so I'll get them ready and sorted for me to buy those ones as well. So let's just trim these off here again as well. Try not to lose them when you trim them off. What we'll do, we'll just give this a good old clean out afterwards. Make sure there's nothing rubbish hanging about on the inside of it, because you don't need anything on there that's going to start arcing out against anything. Right, so again, what we need to do is we just need to tin these pads up again, put a little bulge on them, that's all, just a tiny little bulge. That's it, beautiful. Tin the ends of those very slightly, just a little bit on there, a little bit on there. That's it. Wipe the excess away on there. Right, so this is a bit. This can be quite tricky down here. Again, you might not be able to see this on camera, but I'll show you afterwards. I need to just spread those legs out very slightly on that one. Oops. Just spread that over there. And that one can go onto there. That's it. Lovely. Right. Keep that. Move that over slightly. That's it. Perfect. Alright, so we just, this one here needs to stand up a bit. And we'll just bend that over like that. That's it, that's perfect. Right, so where have we got to now? So we got two down here now that we've got to do, because the camera was out of angle. So let's come down to this one here. So I've soldered that one in there. Okay, sorry, the camera went out of focus there. So let's just pull this one away now. It's more difficult when you've got these like heat sinks in the way. That's it. That's off. Take that off of there. Now, when you talk to some electronic engineers, if they're not an audiophile, they just think you're nuts wanting to change. Why do you want to change capacitors? But when you find one who's an audiophile, they understand why. That's that one off. That's the other one off there. That's those two. They're just these little bits of metal on the underneath of the capacitor. Now, as I say, to get the full advantage of changing these, I need to change all these small ones in here as well, which I haven't done yet. Well, it's purely because I wanted to see how this went first. I didn't want to buy them, then to find out it hasn't come up that great. So let's just snip those away again. Tin the ends of these very slightly again. And what we're going to do is bend those. So that's the way that's going. So we'll probably bend it this way because it'll be easier to solder in this way. Right. You should be able to see that from there, hopefully. That's gone in lovely. Well, what I like to do on some of these is just to put a little bit more solder on there, on the pad there. That's that one. That one. That's it. That is perfect. Right, so those ones are in. Now we've got to turn our attention to these two here in the centre. Okay, so they're the negatives run into my front there on those, and these are the 50 volt by 50 microfarad by 16 volt. Sorry. Right. Okay, so we're going to cut those away again. Two of these away. So again, like I've said this on many occasions, right, about these audio note capacitors. They are expensive. I would probably say these are low production, but audio note, if you check out their equipment, all the equipment they make is absolutely fabulous. They get great reviews. All of their equipment gets great reviews and that, and they wouldn't use them if they were rubbish. They're not actually. They're made for audio note by Rubicon. Right, so we've got these two here. Okay, so we're going to be removing those two. That's one. And remember, the polarity is going to the front on this. Well, to my front, I'll say the polarity, the negative. That's it. Pull those off. Flip up these little plastic parts of this. That's that one. Very careful here. You've got to be so careful not to damage any pads. Right, okay, so now we're just going to remove all the debris there from that again. Got a couple of little legs sticking up there. Once I come away, that's one. That's 2. Come out of this one here. Okay, let me turn the camera around so you can see this a bit better. So here we go, these are the bits here, these 2 here. On gone. 2. Right, so we need to just move that tiny little bit there that's gone in there. Okay, where's that gone now? Bugger, isn't it? Eh? You come out. Right, just get my finger in there. That's it, that's gone. Right, now I want to tin these up again, just to put a fresh little bulb on there of solder. How are we doing this now? Okay, nice little bulge there of solder on that one, and that one, and that one, and finally this one. Right, brilliant. It's all in place. So now we've got our 2 caps here. So just going to bend the legs slightly again on both of those. That one there, and this one here. Okay, now we're just going to put a bit of solder on the ends of those. Very slight bit. Tiny bit on there, tiny bit on there. Right, so now I'm going to have to get this in from here. You may not see this very well with my hand in the way, but I can show you the second one once I've got it in place. Get the polarity around the right way. That's it. I'm going to spread the legs on that very slightly more. There we go. That's that one in. I'll show you them all after. Once we've got them in place. To put another little bit of solder on the end of this one. It's only a slight bit. Right. Push that round now. Tell you what, let's move the camera around again. So I want you to see this really, because this is the most important part. So we've got going from the side there. Okay. It's gone in there. So there's that one. Right, so these 2 need a little bit more solder on them because they look a bit dry. Just stick a tiny little bit more on that one. That's that one. Now the reason why they're using a lot of these surface mount devices these days is because they're easy to fit. They're nice and easy to do, and that's why they do them. It's just a cheaper process. Again, I mean, are they better? I very much doubt it, but who knows? So we now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more capacitors to change in here. But let's take the let's have a look now. So here you can see all of the capacitors all in place, all soldered on nicely over here, down there. So all I've got to do now is to plug this back in and see how it works. So the amp is all back and running, and first impressions, the vocals come across really strong. and we've got a measurable more amount of detail coming through. So I can't wait to get the other 11 capacitors and get them changed. And obviously these caps, they need to break in for a while, so I'll have music playing through this for a while, but I probably won't do that at the moment until I get the other caps next week. So that's it. I hope you like this video. Never easy soldering circuit boards and filming it. I'm not the best at filming, but it's you can get the gist of what's gone on there. So thanks for watching another Tweaker Man video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to press that notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a new video. And thank you for watching, guys.